Today I have another fantastic, beautiful, brand new construction home tour for you right here in Bellevue, Washington. This home behind me here is specifically located in West Bellevue, again, just minutes from downtown Bellevue. It is another beautiful home built by Thomas James Homes. It's a 6-bedroom, 5-bath home, over 5,600 square feet, and the lot size is a generous over 15,000 square foot lot. Let's get into it. Right off the bat, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Aaron Morrow. I'm a local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. Been working with a ton of clients for over a decade now, and I've been doing home tours as well on YouTube and other social media. This is going to be a long, detailed home tour, so strap in. Quick heads up, I have featured a lot of Thomas James home tours on my channel so far, so if you'd like to check out some of their other properties by Thomas James Homes, check out this playlist on the screen here. Thomas James Homes is known for picking really good locations, and this property does not disappoint. Right away when we step inside, you get that open vertical feeling. Thomas James Homes tends to do this really well. You walk in and your eye immediately travels upward. You've got the open railing, natural light pouring through the upper level, and it gives the entries some breathing room instead of feeling boxed in. And I think that matters in a home this size. A lot of large homes can actually feel surprisingly cramped because the layouts get over segmented. This one feels connected without feeling too open. Over here at the front, you've got a formal dining space, and then tucked away just enough is that dedicated office, which we'll get back to later in the video. Honestly, this is probably one of the better office placements I've seen recently because it still gets natural light but feels separated enough where you could realistically work from home all day without feeling like you're sitting in the middle of the house. Now, walking into the main living space, this is where the home really starts to open up. The ceilings feel tall without feeling cold. That's actually harder to pull off than people think. Some modern homes go too minimal and end up feeling almost commercial. Here you still get warmth from the textures, the wood tones, the fireplace detailing, and honestly just the amount of natural light coming through the back of the house. And because this lot sits slightly elevated with surrounding trees, you get privacy without sacrificing brightness. That's a pretty ideal combination in West Bellevue. I always say privacy and natural light usually fight each other a little bit. This house somehow manages to get both flawlessly. And now taking a look at the kitchen here, this kitchen feels designed for somebody that actually cooks and hosts. This island is massive, but it still leaves enough circulation space around everything so multiple people can comfortably be in here without bumping into each other. You've got the high-end appliance package, ceiling height cabinetry, under cabinet lighting, large integrated refrigeration, and then the second prep pantry tucked behind. One thing Thomas James Homes consistently does well is functionality. Nothing feels overly flashy just to impress you for 5 minutes during a showing. The storage makes sense. The cabinetry proportions make sense. The workflow, it all makes sense. And honestly, in higher price points like this, buyers start paying attention to that stuff more than dramatic design gimmicks. And I know this sounds weird, but I judge kitchens heavily by how they feel at night. Under cabinet lighting completely changes the mood in the space. This property will not disappoint with both having that amazing under cabinet lighting that I'm a sucker for, but also having that toe kick lighting. Now, I was just showing this here, this big Sub-Zero fridge here. Love this brand here, but they are so big, these industrial sized fridges. I'm 5'8", 5'9" on a good day, and I was just showing you just how massive this fridge really looked. And I love just how usable these under counter in cabinet microwaves are. This one's Wolf. So this package includes both the high-end Wolf microwave here, as well as you've got a really nice gas Wolf stove range there as well. Love these Wolf. Wolf is probably the most consistent brand I'm seeing in these newer construction info lots, both by Thomas James as well as other builders that are putting these in around the greater Bellevue area. And then as well as for the refrigerator, I know that's a Sub-Zero brand. I also see Thermador is another popular brand that I'd say they are the top two. I've also seen Decor as well being a third option for some people. Lesser known brand too. I love the indicator lights on these gas stoves. Works just like butter. It's a dual stove design here. A little about Thomas James Homes. I won't go into him too much because I have made several videos where I talk more about them. But definitely look into on my channel the other properties that I have of them with that whole playlist. I know they do specialize in infill lot building. And what that is they've found communities that are more mature, older communities where we have these homes that are, you know, maybe 1940 through early 2000s neighborhoods, so older established neighborhoods on the greater Seattle area. Primarily in Bellevue is where I've seen them kind of put most of their stuff on the Bellevue side. They do also make some like townhouse style smaller stuff in actual Seattle proper. And as far as Bellevue goes, they're doing infill lot building where they will tear down an existing older home and build one of these beautiful, lovely, brand new construction homes. And they get massive on the square footage. It's amazing how much they can add there when you've got a daylight basement configuration like this. Nice dishwasher as well. I really love that toe kick lighting here. And I think that island is the perfect size. I imagine someone being able to do all your dishes from that sink there, and you can still be chatting to your guests that are hanging out in the living room or off to the side with that eating area. It's a smaller secondary dining room. Also love this backsplash as well. So again, this kitchen, we'll check it out later, but it has both that butler's pantry that you walk through to the main formal dining room in the front of the home. And then you've also to the side, to the mudroom, you've got the actual pantry, which again, I will make sure we check that out in this video. But right now we're going to actually head through. This is almost like a second butler's pantry area. So you almost have two butler's pantries, but this actually goes into the main level living guest suite. So this actually comes with like a secondary primary or a sub primary, a guest suite, multi-gen option, if you will. Call it what you want, but this actually allows you to have main level living and kind of future proofs your purchase if you're going to be someone that's going to be in your house for 30 plus years and you don't want to go into a retirement home when you're really old or whatnot. And this, again, this comes with a 0.75, so it's a nice walk-in shower here. And just to show this off, so one cool thing that Thomas James Homes did with this is walking in here, I didn't press that button, so all of these bathrooms have motion sensors on them to turn on either the toe kick lighting or the primary lighting source in them, along with in their walk-in closets. I've seen a lot of builders start to do that with a lot of walk-in closets, but kind of really cool to see them add them to the actual bathrooms too. Take a look how grand this shower feels, this walk-in shower, really tall. I love how the backsplash, or not backsplash, but the shower tile is actually going all the way to the ceiling. And I love it when a builder like Thomas James Homes puts in that over shower lighting. It's not necessarily needed in a room like this when you have a when you have that natural light coming in from the window there, but overall you're going to want that at night. Anytime that I am talking on this channel about these new construction homes, one of my bigger pet peeves is when a builder builds a bathroom that doesn't have a window in it and there's no lighting source right above the shower. It just makes it kind of feel dark and dungeony. So Thomas James Homes really knows what they are doing here. This is another showing off how that motion sensor works there. Just walking right into the closet, it just snaps right on. I really like how tall these ceilings feel in this house, and then you've got those tall 8-foot tall doors. Everything just feels grand and spacious, but it doesn't feel like dead space either. So it's not too tall, it's just right. Again, this secondary butler's pantry in here. Plenty of storage space. You will not be complaining about not having enough storage space in this home for sure. Love the fixtures that they've used in this home as well. Back there is that mudroom in the garage, which we will get to in a bit. But for right now, let's check out the outside. Coming out here on the main level covered patio area. Now this might honestly end up being one of my most used spaces in the house. Covered heated outdoor living in the Pacific Northwest just works, and because this backyard slopes away a bit, it creates a surprisingly private setting back here. You've got mature greenery surrounding the property, territorial views, and even though you're close to everything, it feels pretty peaceful. Your neighbors aren't right on top of you being in a more established community. If you were trying to buy something like this, let's say in a master plan community like Tahali or Tin Trails and Black Diamond, you're going to have houses that are closer together. Also love the cement tile exterior of it. Notice this is a lot of usable space. Now it's slightly on a slope, so you're going to have a little bit of a hill as part of your backyard. But all in all, when we go back down there, there's actually tons of usable space. I'm teasing it right here, but we'll actually walk out on the patio when we get down to the daylight basement level, which has a ton of cool stuff down there. You could even, in theory, turn that into another separate living space since it has its own kitchenette. If you were have people walk through the side gates to get down to the back, if you put a lock on that slider, which actually I'll double check to see if there's a lock on there either way. I don't think so, but it'd be very easy to convert. Again, I love this living room. I love how the fireplace looks. Super nice and grand. Also will point this out. You notice on this level, and it's very efficient, but I love on the main level how the heat vents from the ductwork are actually on the ceiling, so they're not getting in your way on the floor as the main level. It's also really functional for them to do it for less ductwork if they're having the ductwork between this floor and the upper floor where the registers are on the floor upstairs. I do a lot in my videos like to point out the detail of the finishing work, and I think Thomas James Homes does a really good job. Now, not every home is perfect. One thing you will notice some flaws and imperfections, but much like any other builder, I'm sure Thomas James Homes does they'll do like a blue tape walkthrough with you and walk through it to see if there's anything that you would like to touch up prior to closing. This is like just the right size of living room in here. And I love how it all just connects and flows together. Okay, so we're going to go check out this area, including the garage first before I'll figure out if I want to head upstairs or go downstairs. I think I'll do downstairs last. Again, here's a quick peek at the butler's pantry that leads into the main living room, and the main dining room, and it even includes this really nice sink in here too, almost like a wet bar station or setup here. Love the not cabinet, but under shelf lighting in here too. The materials feel good and the quality of their work looks great as well. Again, this builder, Thomas James Homes, picks really good locations in Bellevue. So this being in West Bellevue, you're minutes from downtown Bellevue, Bellevue Square, the tech corridor, all of that. It's truly very convenient in this location that we're in right now. And all of the Thomas James Homes builds that I've featured so far on this channel that they've built in the last 2 years that I've shown off, we're in very convenient West Bellevue location spots. We saw a quick peek at the walk-in pantry behind the kitchen there too. Again, plenty of storage space. And this is a nice transition mudroom, if you will. You've got a mechanic's closet right here. And this furnace, even though it was blowing, was not loud at all. And when you shut that door there, it's just whisper quiet. You don't even hear it. Very cute, very functional. And then walking in here, we go into your nice 2-car garage. Love the glazed glass garage door here. Definitely brings in a ton of light, looks super modern, elegant, but also provides some privacy here. You got 2 panels for this home. Let's do my garage door test too to hear how loud or quiet it is. Perfectly acceptable. I'd put that maybe slightly above average on the channel. Not the quietest because it's not a side like Ram Jack system, but for one of the traditional type of garage door setups, pretty quiet. The neighborhood was also whisper quiet too. You're not in a neighborhood where you have a high flow of traffic here. And again, you can see this is a well-established neighborhood, and that's all what Thomas James Homes is about, with the infill style designing these homes and building them. And now I'm going to show you the side gates here. How you can access your backyard. Pretty easy peasy here. But as I was saying before, you could have someone walk through this side gate if you have someone else maybe renting out the bottom, or let's say you have older children that want to live on the bottom level and you want some separation. They could enter from the back with some slight modifications and live downstairs where they don't even have to be coming up through the main level if you're just looking for a bit more separation and privacy. Thomas James Homes really knows curb appeal, and I'm really impressed always by how their front yard setups look. Also love the brick of these pillars here, or the posts. Pillars, posts. Let me know in the comments below which is the correct term. Could be botching both of them. Very pretty. This one's locked, so I'm just gonna tilt the camera upwards so you can see here. I also do like how the meter is covered by the gate, so you're not seeing the meter on the front. I've seen some new builds, not by Thomas James Homes, but some other builders where, like, I've seen some really cool Ramblers, but then they don't have any better place to put the meter, and they end up putting this big, ugly gray box right on the front of the home, and they're not even hiding it with, like, shrubbery or anything. I guess that would be another pet peeve of mine whenever I see that. Perfectly acceptable use of space. That's my Cadillac in the front there. It's pretty long. It's a CTS. I think it's like, well, it's long. It's a longer sedan, and you could definitely fit 2 long cars or trucks in the driveway, plus 2 more into this garage, and then some. So plenty of storage space here. This is another reminder. Again, I work with Thomas James Homes a lot. If you'd like to look into what else they've got going on, oftentimes for as many of these near completion or quick move-in ready homes that I am showing off on the channel, they have that much more of pre-sale homes. So if you're looking to get in early with them, you might be able to pick some more design choices out. If you like what you're seeing here and you kind of just want a little bit maybe different different finishing work, it might be a good idea to get in with them early on some of their pre-sale stuff. Please reach out to me if you want the latest information on any of that. I would be happy to help you through the process to work closely with Thomas James Homes. Heading upstairs here. Again, it feels nice, open, and connected. I love what they do with having the upstairs level be sort of open here in this entryway here. Love that chandelier as well. Feels nice and tall. And then quick peek at the main living area up here on the upper level here. Main sitting area. Almost kind of reminds me of like cathedral style ceilings in there. You've got some really nice vaulted ceilings here in the primary. This is the primary bedroom. Primary. Plenty of windows here wrap around with tons of natural light coming through here. And you have also your secondary dedicated. So this is your second fireplace, which is gas insert. I love how all the theme is cohesive and connects. Thomas James Homes, it does a really good job at making sure things don't look hodgepodge. Nice and warm. Love the tile work. Huge slab, by the way. But man, they're so good at attention to detail here. This would definitely keep you warm over the winter, especially even if your power went out. Being able to use a gas fireplace is nice. Same with the gas burners too. Plenty of space here. You could easily fit king size bed, California king, whatever you want, and you have plenty of room on both sides in this bedroom. Now we will take a look at the primary ensuite in here. This primary bathroom feels elevated without trying too hard. You've got a really nice large soaking tub, oversized walk-in shower, which I will demonstrate in a bit. Good natural light, strong material choices, just overall great. And thankfully they positioned everything where you still maintain privacy while getting all this brightness. That's something a lot of builders actually get wrong. Small details, but details are what separate average new construction from higher end new construction. I love the double vanity there, again with the toe kick lighting. But again, I want to point out this nice large soaking tub with a really big window is positioned right. The builder has done a great job at making sure you're not going to have anyone peeking in on you when you're taking a nice long bath. It seems to be something a lot of builders struggle with when they design this. So oftentimes I'll find builders end up glazing the glass, you know, because they still want to have some natural light coming in from the window, but they're always, a lot of them more often than not, cannot figure out how to get this tub where it's not positioned where you're looking right in on one of your neighbors, whether it's in a master plan community or in one of these more traditional neighborhoods where they did infill lot building. And love this large walk-in shower here. Plenty of lighting in here. You even have a sitting bench in here. Love the shower niche. Not to drag you away from this video, but this is actually, I would put this up there as one of the top 10 bathrooms that I've walked through, or primary baths that I have walked through in on YouTube thus far. If you'd like to check out one of the coolest looking ones, or I guess most crazy as far as like cathedral style, tons of lighting, under cabinet lighting, shower niche lighting, go check out this video that I have on the screen after you are done taking a look at this video. Another thing I really like is this pass-through primary walk-in closet here. Let me know in the comments below if you like this trend. I think it makes it very functional where it ties right into the laundry. Super convenient to pass through here. It makes sense that you have your closet where your primary clothes are, where you can just go right into your laundry room and do your laundry from your primary closet. And then you've got the laundry conveniently located where it is near the other bedrooms on the other end of the upstairs of the house here. Now, one thing to point out is Thomas James Homes, they rarely ever include the washer and dryer. Their methodology on that is a lot of consumers in this price point are pretty picky with their washer and dryer units. So they want to give the option to the person buying the home what washer and dryer they would want most in their home. Again, demonstration, super convenient having all of these motion sensors in the walk-in closets. I love how most of these guest bedrooms have their own closets too. Another thing to notice, you've got more than just that guest suite downstairs in the upstairs primary, you do have this back bedroom that also comes with its own ensuite as well, which is again a full in here with the tub there. This is again another example of how I think it's super important to have that lighting above the shower, especially if the shower is on the opposite end of where the window is located in the bedroom, or if, let's say, the door is halfway blocking the window or it's at night. I think it's super important to have enough lighting in your bathroom so you don't get that seasonal affective disorder that some people get in the Pacific Northwest. We've got these front bedrooms here. Again, light is just pouring through these bedrooms, as you can see. Plenty of space. Again, another king-size bed with ample space on both sides. Oh, and I know I talked a little bit about location earlier, but location-wise, this is true West Bellevue living. So again, you are minutes from downtown Bellevue. Bellevue Square, parks, dining, and the Eastside tech corridor, but tucked into a quieter residential pocket that feels much more insulated from the day-to-day chaos. You're also in the Bellevue School District with Clyde Hill Elementary, Chinook Middle School, and Bellevue High. And honestly, locations like this tend to hold value well over long periods because they're just very limited inventory in these established West Bellevue neighborhoods. Depending on traffic, Seattle is usually pretty accessible across 520, and you've got multiple ways in and out of Bellevue from here, which honestly helps a lot during peak commute hours. I talked a little bit about them before, but since I have more time, since this is a detailed tour, Thomas James Homes has built a pretty recognizable reputation around the East Side at this point, and one thing I consistently notice touring their homes is they tend to prioritize livability over trend chasing. These layouts are more practical, the finish quality feels consistent, and the homes usually age well statistically because they avoid going too extreme with design choices. That's important because luxury buyers today are way more educated than they used to be. People are paying attention to construction quality, layout efficiency, energy systems, long-term maintenance, all of that. You know, the interesting thing to mention about Bellevue luxury market right now is buyers are still very active, but they're significantly more selective than they have been a few years ago. Homes that feel compromised, overpriced, or poorly designed are sitting a lot longer, but properties with strong locations throughout, thoughtful layouts, newer construction, and good privacy are still getting strong attention, especially in established West Bellevue neighborhoods like this, where inventory remains relatively limited long term. Now, we are taking a look at the primary space in here. This is one of those areas buyers are going to be used, completely different depending on their lifestyle. It could be a media room, kids lounge, second office, reading area, homework station. And because it's vaulted with all of this natural light, it doesn't feel like, leftover square footage. It actually feels intentional. I'd honestly love to know what you'd use this space for because I could see it working a lot of different ways. I myself would have this as my media room up here. I use an ultra short throw projector so I can make use of my 133 inch ALR screen, which is ambient light rejecting screen. Pairing it with my ultra short throw projector allows me to basically have a 133 inch screen movie experience with my surround sound system. It would the surround type of system that I have mixed with the screen type would fit really nice in this area. And what I've got going on, you could basically have this be like your home theater, but it doesn't need to be dedicated, because for a dedicated home theater system, if you're going for that full-on long-through projector or actual surround sound equipment, wired, etc., you're going to need a full-on dedicated room space for that. And I think this would work as a really much nicer multimedia setup. I know I went a little bit on the tangent there, but you could tell, I guess, I geek out over. I'm a bit of a movie buff, and I definitely love my media room. Love all of these windows. They have really good window placement homes, or really good window placement in these Thomas James homes. Coming back down here. Again, this just all feels connected. I love it. I love all of the lighting fixtures in here. And you've got that powder room, which we will take a look at in a bit. I think I'm going to head downstairs first, but I'll show you this coat closet up front first. So this is exciting when you go down here. There's so much extra space down here on the daylight basement level. You know, it truly adds real functionality instead of just having extra square footage down here. You've got another guest suite, media space, rec area, kitchenette, storage, or, you know, you've got the direct outdoor access as well. So whether somebody wants extended guest space, entertaining space, a gym setup, or even semi-separate living for family, this level gives you a lot of flexibility. And I really like that it walks out naturally instead of feeling like it's a dark basement. This is plenty of understair storage in here, but I love how everything's functional. So in this house, instead of having a traditional crawl space, in this home you actually have this nice walk-in crawl space. You don't even have to duck in here. Let me know if you use this room for anything. It definitely could be used for extra storage, but I could tell since this breeze in here, you might get more moisture in this room than other areas, just like any other crawl space. So I wouldn't put anything in here that, you know, would be ruined, prone to moisture. But as you can tell, you've got these two nice large hot water tanks, and they look like they are both hybrid systems, which use heat pumps. So super efficient for the home. I think they had dual zone heating or tri-zone. It's either dual or tri-zone. So you're breaking up the levels where you're not just running the HVAC all on one space. But how cool was that crawl space? I mean, definitely an upgrade from a regular crawl space or having no crawl space at all. Definitely more use of space that you could use that for. I also like this kitchenette over here as well. Sort of wet bar setup. Again, dishwasher. You've got the beverage cooler right there. Plenty of cabinet space here. Also, the under cabinet lighting, it was not on when I walked down here, so let's go ahead and turn it on here. Again, under cabinet lighting and toe kick lighting. I've seen in some houses where they do the toe kick lighting, the under cabinet lighting, and then if the cabinets are not going to the ceiling, they do the above cabinet lighting, so it's like the trifecta or light sources. Sub-Zero brand there too. The quartz countertops feels nice too. And then again, same brand of dishwasher as upstairs. Nice high-end dishwasher. These also don't feel flimsy. A lot of times when I'm pulling out the garbage and recycling drawers, even whether there's, you know, heavy garbage in them or not, sometimes they could feel very flimsy, and these felt super secure. So notice, even on this downstairs level, the ceilings feel nice and tall as well. So you've got a lot of verticality even on the daylight basement. Another thing I'll point out, they did a really good job at floor matching, but they used an engineered hardwood on the main level and upper level. And then down here, they are using, it's either laminate, or I think it's actually an LVP style. I believe it's LVP, luxury vinyl plank. And the reason why they do that is you're not supposed to put engineered hardwood or hardwood, either one, on a slab. And since the daylight basement is on a slab, that's just a natural moisture problem where it will retain the moisture, versus the LVP is definitely moisture resistant. So you're not going to have any, or you shouldn't have any moisture issues walking on the slab. And it still feels good. The texture is nice too. So I think they did a really good job at matching those two together. I know there are some other builders, like for instance, I've featured a different builder that was selling a 4 mil property in some Mammish that the route they went was they wanted all the flooring to match the exact same with their daylight basement. So they ended up going high-end luxury laminate on all 3 floors that made it look like wood-like material, but it was all laminate. I do tend to like more the engineered hardwood over going laminate on all the floors. Plenty of cabinet or space in here. This definitely could be like a game cupboard or whatever you could use this for. Again, plenty of storage. Someone buying this house is not going to be like, I need to move because I don't have enough storage. I mean, I guess anyone could say anything, right? Okay, I've not been in this bathroom yet, so let's do a test. Does it feel dark and dungeony, or is it nice on the daylight? Okay, so we walk through here, and you've got both a window here, and look! Nice lighting source, so it is not dark and dungeony, which feels great. And again, you've got that nice tile work that's cohesive with the other bathrooms. Keeping a common theme here. Giving you some nice detailed looks at this space. So again, pointed it out, that touch-up paint spot, that could be easily fixed by the builder. You do that during your blue tape walkthrough. Yep, LVP. And let's check out, this would be like a dedicated home theater space. Again, if you're doing a traditional home theater with a long, projector, you give consideration how to block your light source, but either going with an ultra short throw projector or just a really nice large TV would be a great use of space for this. Either multimedia room, family room, TV room, or dedicated home theater room. Definitely have the space for it in here. Walking out to the downstairs patio here. Also note that the sliding glass doors do not feel flimsy in this home, so I think they're of good quality. They put them in right. Sometimes they go in these new construction properties and they don't feel either. They feel too flimsy, like the handles, or they're not set correctly, so they're harder to open and close. But this felt like they're opening and closing as smooth as butter. Great use of space here. I would love to know in the comments below what you would use this lower portion area for, because you have this section which they've staged as more of like outdoor dining space, and then you got the section over there which we'll walk over there in a sec once I go back through the main room there, and you've got more of like an outdoor like patio setup area that you could do. So interesting, would be interesting to see ultimately what the homeowner decides to do with a space like this. Love the coffered ceilings too. I think it really elevates and lifts the media room. And then this is another great use of space in here. Could easily be a gaming area. You see the ping pong table right here. Okay, and we've got the outdoor cooling units out here. Check out the outside. It's actually a pretty big slabbed area, or bricked area, or whatever the term is that you want to use. And then you've got some hill area too, but it's still usable space. It would be interesting to see what someone ultimately turns this into, if you keep it as is, or I can imagine someone creating some garden beds on the hill part as well. Again, those just easily shut and lock. But as you could see with the sliders there, you could easily figure out how to have someone be able to enter from the bottom and use this space down here. And it would only take some slight modification if you're truly trying to separate the home. However, people buying in this price point are most likely not looking for a renter, a true renter in their bottom part where they need to be separating it from the main space here. This is more likely going to be used for either multi-generational living or just a really nice, great use of space where people can separate on the lower level from the upstairs. Love this powder room in here. And again, the toe kick lighting is an extra touch. Love the tile work too. I was in a home by a different builder in Kirkland, and near the end of the video, if you watch it when I walk into the powder room, they had it looked like wallpaper in the powder room, but it was actually tile. It was really interesting look to it, very high end as well. If you want to go check that one out after done watching this video, you can check out the link here as well. I was working with a family recently that was looking to move to the Eastside area from out of state. I work with a lot of relocation peeps that meet me off the channel, by the way, or from social media like my TikTok or Instagram. Anyways, I digress. They were looking for a home that either had some multi-generational living, but it was also important that the guest bedrooms, at least some of them, for their older children, because they had many children, would all come with their own, basically like guest suite or bathroom hooked up to it. So this property would have been, if they were looking in this area or could be in this price point, I think they're a little bit less. So they were actually, would not been quite on this price point level, but had this budget worked for them, this would have been a property they probably would have been jumping on due to how many of the bedrooms do have a guest ensuite, including all 3 levels here. I love the front dining room area. I think this is the perfect size for the front entry. Love the wainscoting and the just everything in this room. Feels super cool. I was throwing off the texture of that. And then I also love this chandelier here. It's super cool looking. Great dining space. It was slight overcast the day I filmed this, and yet it just truly brings in tons of natural light through here. You're not going to complain about it feeling too dark in a home like this. A little bit more detailed shots here so you can admire the finishing work. And now we're going to check out this wonderful home office. I love the finishing work on the ceiling here. It's an accent ceiling, my dear viewers. I also love how usable this space is. This office den being at the front of the home, it's just far enough where you're not going to be hearing a lot of the noise coming from the kitchen area. And again, you've got those French doors if you need to close it up if people are being a little bit too loud in the living space. You know, overall, I think this home does a really good job balancing luxury with livability. It feels substantial without feeling overwhelming, modern without feeling cold, and private without feeling disconnected from Bellevue itself. If you'd like more information on this property, pricing, availability, or you're considering making a move to the greater Seattle area, feel free to reach out. My contact information is down below in the description and pinned in the comment. And if you've enjoyed slower, more detailed cinematic home tours like this, definitely subscribe because I've got a lot more coming throughout Bellevue, Eastside, and the greater Seattle area. And I love touring homes with you. And there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this beautiful home behind me here. Again, built by Thomas James Homes. My name's Aaron Morrow, local realtor here in the greater Seattle area. I've been working with buyers, sellers, and investors in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties for well over a decade now. If you're looking to make your move over here to the greater Seattle area in the next 9 days or 9 months, or you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, please feel free to reach out to me. My contact info can be found below in the description. I would love to show you how I can make your next move or investment over here a smooth one. If you're looking for some more property tours or other property tours built by Thomas James Homes or other builders, or you'd like to hear what others have said about working with me, look somewhere on the screen right here. And of course, until next time, I hope to be showing you some beautiful property tours, and please subscribe to me for more real estate shenanigans. Have a great day.